So here is number 11. We want to change it to vertex form by completing the square. So to complete the square, we need the x squared term, we need the negative 8x term, and we need a blank. So to create that space, let's bring the 5 over, so that would be y minus 5. Step 1, take the negative 8 divided by 2, which is going to be a negative 4. Step 2, square that. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So plus 16 on one side and plus 16 on the other side. Now negative 5 plus 16 is going to give you a positive 11 equal to here is going to be x minus 4 squared. Now one last step is to bring this positive 11 over to the other side. That will make it negative 11. So the vertex form will be x minus 4 squared minus 11. For number 12, to complete the square, we need to first, let's bring this over. So we get y plus 1. Over here, we need to factor out this negative 3 because to complete the square, you need to have just x squared, not negative 3x squared. The negative 12 divided by negative 3. Be careful with the signs. That's a positive 4x. And then we leave a blank here. So step 1, we're going to take this 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Then 2 squared is positive 4. So we're going to plus 4 over here. But then adding 4 over there, we need to multiply with this negative 3 in the front. So negative 3 times 4 is going to be negative 12. And that's what goes over here. And now to factor this, we have negative 3. Parentheses x plus 2 squared. Y minus 12 is going to be negative 11. So we have y minus 11 equals all this. Then bring this negative 11 to the other side. That would become a positive 11. So the vertex form equation will be negative 3 parentheses x plus 2 squared plus 11. Number 13, asking for what's the vertex? Right here where it turned around. So it's going to be positive 4, positive 2. Number 14 is asking for the axis of symmetry, which is the line that splits this right in half. So right down the middle. Where did it pass through? It passed through x at negative 1. So x equal negative 1. Number 15 is asking for domain and range. So remember, domain is talking about the x direction. So domain, we go from left to right. So left, we have this arrow, so negative infinity. On the right side, this arrow, so positive infinity. So the domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. For the range, however, we want to talk about the y direction. So we go from the bottom to the top. So the very bottom is here. Actually draw your line and be careful and notice how it goes to negative 1. Don't look at the negative 2 and get tricked by it. That's a very common trick. So it's a negative 1, that's the bottom. With a square bracket on the top, those arrows means that it goes up forever. So positive infinity with a round bracket. So look at this. All the infinities, parentheses, or a round bracket because you can never reach it. Number 16 wants you to find the domain and the range. So the first thing that you want to do is, well, is this in vertex form? Yes, it is. Look at this negative 4. No, it's going to be a sad face. So that's the first thing you need. The second thing you need is to get the vertex. Inside change, outside stay the same. So the vertex is going to be negative 6 and negative 10. So that's the vertex. Now for the domain. We know that the domain is going to be from left to right. So left arrow, negative infinity. Right arrow, positive infinity. That's the domain. Now for the range, we want to go from the bottom to the top. So bottom, arrow, going down forever, so negative infinity. And now the top is where the vertex is. Remember range, we want to look for the y value. So you want to use the negative 10. Not the negative 6, but the negative 10. Number 17, just ask for what is the vertex. This is in vertex form. So there we have it. Inside, change, positive 1. Outside, stay the same, positive 8. Finished. Number 18 is asking for the axis of symmetry. Unfortunately, this is not in vertex form. So we need to do some algebra to change that into vertex form. So, like what we did before, move this to y minus 2. That leaves you with 2 parentheses x squared. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4x. And then we need a blank to complete the square with. Step 1, negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Step 2, square that. Negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. So we go plus 4 over here. And then, by adding a 4 over there, we need to add a 2 times 4, which is going to be 8 over here. Now, negative 2 plus 8 is going to be 6. So positive 6 equal 2 parentheses. Let's factor this. X minus 2 squared. Now, one last step. We need to move the 6 over here to the other side. So we get y equal 2 parentheses x minus 2 squared minus 6. So that's the vertex form. So let's make a quick picture of the graph. That's a positive, so happy face. We know that the vertex is going to be inside a change. So positive 2, outside stay the same, negative 6. The axis of symmetry is going to go through here, so it's going to be x equals to 2. For number 19, we want to solve this system of equations, one quadratic. The first one is quadratic and the second one is linear. What you want to do first is you want to set these two equations equal to each other because they're both equal to y. So you get x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Now in order to solve by factoring, we want to have a 0 on the right side. So let's move this. So negative 2 comes over here, becomes a positive 2x. And positive 4 comes over here, becomes a negative 4. So what we end up with is x squared. For the x's, we have 1 plus 2, which is 3x, and negative 6 minus 4, which is negative 10, equal to 0. Now we can factor this, because we have 0 on the other side. So 10, let's break up 10. 2 times 5 can give us 10, so let's try to get a positive 3. So a positive 3, that tells me that the bigger number is going to be positive. So 5 plus 2 is 7, but we want 3, so 5 minus 2, that's 3. Double check this. A negative multiplied with a positive is a negative, which is what we want over here. That's a negative 10. So now the factors are going to be x minus 2 and x plus 5 equal to 0, which means that x is equal to positive 2 or x is equal to negative 5. Now we have the x values, so let's find the y values. So what you want to do is, let's scroll back over here, we want to plug in to this equation to find the y value, because the linear equation is easier to work with. So that one's negative 2x plus 4, which I'm going to copy. So negative 2, but in place of x, I'm going to put in this 2. So negative 2x, which is 2, plus 4. Then let's multiply this. Negative 2 times 2 is going to be negative 4, plus 4, which is 0. So that means one of the solutions is 2, 0. Now for the second one, we have negative 2 parentheses. Now we're going to use this negative 5, put that in here, plus 4. So negative 2 multiplied with negative 5 is a positive 10, plus 4, which is a 14. So for the second one, we have negative 5, positive 14. So these are the two solutions. And for number 20, we want to see where the two graphs meet each other, where they intersect. So here's one point. That's negative 5, 0. Oh, this space is kind of too small to write. Okay, negative 5, 0. That's one of them. The second one is going to be over here. which is at -2, -6. And these are your two solutions. So good luck on your test. Study hard. Make sure you understand every single problem on the review. Then you'll be ready.